Libra, welcome to your June 2020 Law of Attraction reading. It's Raina here. So this is a spread that I got from a site called emeraldlotus.ca. I actually got it from Pinterest, but that's where it comes from. And I do these types of readings periodically. I thought it'd be fun to do it for June. And I'm just going to go. I had to start over again because I had to get my laptop. And my laptop doesn't have much juice, so I'm going to try to see if I can do this as quickly as possible, or at least, memorize the last two positions before this goes out. The first position is the vibration that you're emitting, and this is the sun. So this is like, this reading is supposed to be for anything that you want to manifest, and this can include love. I was focused on just kind of money and career and all that stuff, but this is like kind of a catch-all wonderful card. You may be in a very positive state of mind right now, Libra, and so you're in a good place to attract what you want, and it's basically all the good things. So it can involve attracting love. You have that spirit of joy, creativity, success, so maybe confidence I would associate with the sun. Basically, good vibes. And so that's one thing in your corner. If you do feel like you are like that, the sun is the ruler of the sign of Leo. And if you think of those qualities, the warmth of Leo, affectionate and generous and confident. And the second position is something that you need to be more open to receiving. So maybe you've been resisting it and you need to be more about this. And this is the Queen of Wands. And so this relates to the ability to be assertive without being losing your emotional sensitivity. So Libra, you are a cardinal sign and you're capable of taking charge of your life for sure and just taking action in general. But when it comes to going after what you want, you may kind of hang back a little bit and feel like by trying to assert yourself, you're being pushy, you're being rude. Or if you're interested in somebody, if you've fallen in love with somebody but they don't know it, you might be a little bit reticent to kind of let them know that that's the case. And so it's a balance between the feminine and masculine principles. The feminine tends to be more passive. And, the word passive, unfortunately, has a negative connotation these days. And passivity isn't like just laziness. Passivity can mean that you are willing to be receptive, you're willing to receive, to be still and know, not to just be constantly outside of yourself and trying to make things happen. Sometimes that can come across as being too aggressive. And so knowing how to be balanced in these areas is very important for anything that you want to attract to you. And I would say too, with the masculine or yang principle, is believing that you're deserving of it. I don't know, maybe I should say the feminine principle would be that, because the water element connects with the queen. And water is emotion. And with law of attraction, emotion is very important. Sometimes people send out mixed signals where they claim that they want something, but emotionally they have a strong resistance to it, or feeling of guilt about wanting it, or do I deserve it, and that kind of thing. So it's really about balancing those things. The third position is what will come when I am more open to this. So if you're more balanced, what will come? And I think that this is the Eight of Wands, so here we have more wands. All of this is fire energy. Like I said, the sun can relate to Leo. So it's all about confidence, but also autonomy and authenticity. Something that Libra has to always keep in mind is not about whether somebody approves of you, but that you're putting out who you really are to them. And so the Eight of Wands is a card of, I look at it as a breakthrough. So if you've been somebody who has had a dry spell in your love life, and you're kind of at a loss as to why you can't find that special someone, perhaps there have been times when you've been either, too, passive, where you're not assertive enough, you don't have proper boundaries, or when you've been too much in that controlling mode where you're afraid of really surrendering in relationship, which sometimes we have to do. We can't have things our way all the time either. And so having some kind of a breakthrough where you realize that, and it all just kind of comes in. The Eight of Wands can be that kind of like action after a period of inactivity. And it's almost like an aha moment if you think about it energetically, perhaps. The fourth position is card to represent the next step that you have to take. And this is called the leap of faith. And so if you want to look at it as, I wouldn't say necessarily a risk, but it may not be something that you can see readily at this moment. It may be something that is kind of obscured, that you have to kind of just believe is there for you. And we have the Seven of Swords. Now, you are connected to Swords, being an air sign, Libra. The Seven of Swords can be going it alone. And Libra rules the seventh house of committed partnership. So Libra is the sign of the couple, the partner. And for Libra people, being alone can be a radical concept. You may be the kind of person who, if you can, will go from one relationship to the next. And so you'll always have a new person lined up if you're the one that is actively leaving a relationship, that you don't want to just kind of go out into the void. You want to have this assurance that there's going to be somebody waiting in the wings. Now, I am generalizing with Libra, looking at it as an archetype, not looking at individual Libra. Some of you will have inner planets in Scorpio, for instance, or even Virgo, that can make you much more comfortable being alone. And your moon sign can be any sign. So if your moon is in Capricorn, if your moon is in certain signs like Virgo, I don't want to go through all of them, you might have the ability and the preference of being more solitary, especially if you've had a relationship that has been particularly negative. But sometimes the sign of Libra will tend to want that primary relationship no matter what. If this is work related for some reason, and certainly with the Sun card, you will feel very confident and successful. So I don't know what it is that you would be manifesting in that sense, but perhaps you've been thinking about working for yourself, and you just have to believe that it's going to work out the way that you want it to. If you've been unsure that it will. The fifth position is how you can manifest even more successfully. So it's kind of like advice of what to do or how to think about a situation. The Ace of Swords is a card of gaining mental clarity. And you're gaining mental clarity so you can take future action. Libra sometimes gravitates to the law, the legal arena, some type of job, whether it's a lawyer or a paralegal or I don't know what else is in that field, maybe a teacher of law, because you have the ability to see multiple sides of an issue. You're not just like tethered to one place and you can only see one thing. And this has its upsides, but it also has its downsides, because one thing that it can do is it can make you see all the negatives of a situation. And this is where the infamous Libra indecisiveness, can I speak? Indecisiveness comes in, because you might feel that sense of like, oh yeah, I can do this, but then what about that? And also just perhaps having multiple interests. If you have like a business that you'd like to start, and perhaps you have trouble narrowing something down, and you want to do a lot of different things. And sometimes it's helpful to focus on one thing and do it right, especially when you're launching something. And the month of June, in terms of launching, is a month that may be difficult because we're having Mercury going retrograde in the second half of the month, but it's also sandwiched by eclipses. So there's a lot of turmoil or just upheaval, whatever you want to call it. Gee, like that's what we really need, right? But I mean, I think in July, things start to settle down towards the end of July, especially. After Mercury goes direct and things like that. So if you don't have a time sensitive issue, you may want to wait to do something. But if your heart is really set on it in June, then, perhaps that it's something that you do need to follow your heart. But make sure that you have that sense of direction and mental clarity so that you know exactly how to proceed. And then the last card is, I memorized this, what your higher self or the universe wants you to know right now about your situation. So a message from the universe. And the Page of Wands is about something is happening that is new and is exciting. This could be good news on the horizon for you that maybe lights your fire. So start spreading the news, Libra. Good times are either here right now or they're coming soon. I hope that you enjoy this. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.